Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a blessed day. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I make videos like this on credit, and personal finance, on a regular basis. Sometimes you'll catch me at my place. Sometimes you'll catch me in the truck. Today, I'm gonna do a little video on driving with Kenny. What I want to talk to you guys about is some of the things that's going on in the marketplace as far as the middle class. We're being squeezed um, by, I don't know, I'll say the powers that be, right? Because once upon a time, uh, a man could go to work, make enough money to provide for his family, and that was pretty much the case for the middle class. That was considered middle class. Nowadays, a man goes to work, and in a lot of cases, he needs a significant other to help him along the way. And these are things that, as each generation goes on, and you're going to see different transitions take place. I read an article the other day talking about how families are starting to move in with each other, right? So you're starting to see families now move in with other families. And that's going to become commonplace probably for the next generation. So what's going on? What are we doing wrong in the in this process, or what's going on in the marketplace? And I just want to get you guys thinking about a few things. You have uh, entertainers, thought leaders, whatever you want to call them, that are very successful in business, right? They're very successful in business, and it's kind of like the chicken or egg. What comes first, the advice or the success? And what I mean by that is, you have a gentleman like Grant Cardone, who's very successful in business. He um, invested in apartment buildings, and he says the smallest apartment building you should get is 16 units. And when he first started, he put $350,000 down. And he goes on to talk about how investing in a home could be one of your worst investments that you can make. And what bothers me about this advice is the fact that, one, you're not middle class. You've probably never been middle class for many, many years. And your advice is misleading. I love Grant Cardone. I watch his YouTube channel for motivation a lot of times. But let me tell you something about the middle class. And let me know if this rings true with you. In the middle class, you get up Monday through Friday. It used to be 40 hours, but now it's 50, 60 hours a week. And those that are working 40 hours are begging for 50, 60 hours, because at the end of the week, when it's time to pay bills, you don't have enough left over to ease your mind, right? And whatever that number is, could be 200, could be 2,000. Just depends on your situation, right? But the reality of the situation is, there's not enough money left over at the end of your paycheck where you can actually start chunking money away to get to that $350,000 mark, so that you can start investing in apartment units. And let's say, usually what happens after that, well, if you don't have the money, you need to go find the people that do. Okay? Well, where do we start to find the people? Oh, well, you need to find a good deal. Okay, where do we start to find a good deal? We don't know what a good deal looks like. We don't know anything about apartment units. How are we supposed to work a full-time job, take care of our families, and then on a part-time basis learn how to invest in apartment units. Well, Gary Vaynerchuk says you got to work harder, right? And at some point, the advice that's given is just it, it's not advice. It's a fairy tale because it's just not reality, right? And I'm a gentleman that's in the middle class. I go to work every day. I hustle hard. I grind. There is no working harder for me, right? There is no, okay, well, let's figure out how to invest in apartment units. And that, I mean, will I get there? Eventually, yes. But if you're talking about personal finance and getting your household straight, listening to these gentlemen talk about home ownership is absolutely ridiculous to me. You have people now telling people it's better to rent than to own a home. And when you look at the wealth of the middle class since the inception of this country, home ownership has been the number one wealth builder for the middle class, and it always will be. There is nothing that's going to change with that number. Land ownership is the number one builder for the middle class. And how we're being squeezed out is by the fact that if you look at the middle class, we are owning less and less property, less and less land, less and less assets. And I want you guys to think about something. What is an asset, right? What is an asset? Something that pays you, right? Something that pays you. So they look at it and they go, well, a home doesn't pay you, therefore it's not an asset. And it's absolutely ridiculous to think in terms like this. It's ridiculous. Because when I'll tell you a little quick story, right? And I'm not the best with stories, but I'm gonna keep it real short for you guys. So it's my first year in college. I'm at Napa Valley College at this point in time, and I had an econ professor. This gentleman walked with a limp, real hard nose, and he would lock the door at 8 o'clock in the morning. And if you weren't there, you were just you missed the class, right? And he was just a real hard-nosed dude. I walk up to him one day, and all my professors that were in finance, I seem to gravitate more towards, and that's because, you know, when you first go to college, you're taking a whole bunch of classes that you just really weren't interested in, right? You got to take these general classes, and finance was one of those classes that I was always interested in. So I walk up to him, and, you know, after class, we would usually talk about certain things. And one day I asked him, what's the best investment that a man can make? What is the best investment? And he looks me square in my eyes and he tells me the best investment a man can make is a vacation with his family. And I thought, that's dumb. That's the dumbest thing that anybody can say to a person talking about investments. And this is a man that got it. And what was he saying? What was he trying to teach me at that moment that I would get years and years later? Most people think of investments on return on income, right? Return on income. That's a ROI. What's my ROI? What's my ROI? And when you are a middle class person, you can't think of every investment as ROI. You're not in the position to think about things like that because you're fighting so many battles day to day that when you get out here, sometimes you need an investment that might not be wise for somebody that's wealthy, that would be wise for you. For an example, you hear Dave Ramsey talk about credit, right? He always talks about credit, purchasing your car. Well, if you are middle class, right? If you are middle class, you don't have $500 to $8,000-$9,000 to just go put down on a car, right? Most of us don't have that money we could put down on a car that's um, reliable, right? A reliable transportation, right? And so these wealthy people, they give us these advice. Oh, you don't need credit. Um, you don't need credit. You're Why are you making your struggle an uphill battle? Why are you going to remove one of the tools of the middle class, right? And rather than tell them credit is evil, you tell them, hey, look, this is how you use credit. You use credit to get assets. And for the middle class, an asset is completely different than for somebody that's wealthy, right? A car, a vehicle, a reliable piece of transportation is vital to the middle class. It is vital for somebody to have a reliable vehicle. I once told a story of a young lady that when she her car broke down. She, single mother, her car broke down, and long story short, she wasn't able to get to work, and her transportation was the bus and friends. Well, it was so unreliable that she started showing up to work late. Eventually, her job terminated her, and now she's without work, all because of transportation. A tool that is so vital to the middle class that um, a person that's wealthy, that's detached from the middle class, they can't give advice because you're so removed from it. You're going to say stuff like Dave Ramsey and tell you, you don't need credit, purchase a car cash, save up $1,000. Like, trust me, people with poor credit, it's not that they're bad people. What happens is the situation overwhelms them. 9 times out of 10, we all have been through it. Whether we got terminated from a job, we got sick, but there's always a situation that winds up where we are at the mercy of our situation. Whether that's, we lose our job and now we're trying to struggle to find a job because the economy went bad. I don't know if you guys remember 2008, but people were losing their jobs left and right. And it was tough to the point where the government came out with a program that extended unemployment. That's how many people were losing their jobs in 2008, 2009. It was a catastrophic event. And sometimes in our personal economy, we have these catastrophic events that go on, and when you listen to the advice of others, it doesn't make sense all the time. It just really doesn't make sense. So you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, and Robert Kiyosaki that tell you, hey, look, don't purchase a home. Then what assets are we going to use to get us to the next stage, right? Because as a middle class person, we have to use every tool in our belt to get us to the next week. Every tool. Every single tool in our belt we are using to get to the next stages of life. So don't tell me don't get this asset or don't get this asset. Tell me how to get the asset, right? There's not enough how, right? And stop telling me what to do. Just tell me how to get there. Okay, Grant, 16 units? Cool. How do I get there? But don't tell me, oh, well, you just got to chunk money away. That's not going to work for a middle class person. They're not going to get to 350,000 in the next 10 years, right? You got to come up with a plan for me right now. How do I listen? How do I pay my utilities next week so that I can buy that 16 unit apartment building? Because the people that I talk to, the people that I deal with, the people that are watching this channel, there's a really good chance if you're watching this channel, that's you, right? That, you're just trying to get it to the next week. Yeah, we all want to be wealthy. We all want to be in a better position, especially if you're watching this channel. That's the number one thing that everybody's watching this channel is getting to the next level. So when you listen to these gurus, these wealthy middle class advisors, please understand the advice that they're giving is not for us. What we need to be doing is building our credit, right? Building our credit up. If you haven't gotten a secure credit card, you've been watching this channel 4 or 5 months and you haven't gotten your first secure credit card, or you haven't gotten your first revolving line of credit at all, right? There's something wrong. There's something that we need to be doing in order um, to get that secure credit card, whatever it is. And I'm here to help you guys as much as I possibly can, right? Some of the secure credit cards that I really like are the secure credit cards that are going to graduate, right? And when I'm talking about graduating, what I'm talking about, these are secure credit cards that when you get them and you put your deposit down, the $200 to $250 at a year, right? That's the number that I look for a secure credit card to graduate. At a year, that card should graduate to an unsecured credit card, meaning that that financial institution is going to send you your money back, and at that point in time, that is going to be considered an unsecured credit card. So those people that sit there and say secure credit cards are bad, they don't know what they're talking about, right? And yeah, you're going to start out with a low limit, but eventually you're going to get yourself at a point in time where you can um, and start building up your credit lines. Okay, so I just wanted to reach out to you guys. I don't want to make this a long video, but I do want to motivate you guys to get started. I have so many people that reach out to me. They'll tell me they listen to my channel for months. Man, I listen to all your videos. I don't know where to get started. Listen, I've told everybody revolving lines of credit is vital to your credit report. I'm not really worried about your collections or anything that's on your credit report right now. What I got to focus on is um, what how am I going to get revolving lines of credit on your credit report? Primary trade lines on your credit report. That's that's what's needed for your credit report, right? And I'm sorry I'm so passionate today, but I get emails from people on a consistent basis asking me these questions. And I just wanted to reach out to you guys and tell you, hey, look, you can do this, right? You don't have to listen to these other gentlemen that's telling you, hey, look, don't get a house. I'm with you. I'm in the mud with you, and I'm telling you, hey, let's get a house. Let's build our credit up so that we can start buying assets like the wealthy. And everybody that says your vehicle is not an asset, they don't know what they're talking about. Because yeah, the vehicle may depreciate, but a reliable piece of transportation is vital to your economy, right? And sometimes, even though that asset may depreciate, it's still needed for you to get to work so that you can provide a good living for your family, right? And that's what this whole thing is about. And I'm trying to help you guys. I'm trying to do everything that I possibly can to help you. What I want you guys to do, if you're watching this video right now, if you have not downloaded my book, I wrote a book. It's called Credit Anatomy. I wrote this book to reach as many people as I possibly could so that they can at least get an idea how the FICO system works, because most of us don't even understand how the FICO system works. Most of us don't understand the difference between an installment loan and a revolving line of credit. Most people don't understand that starting out with secure credit cards, getting primary accounts is the best thing for your credit report, right? Like if you don't have any good recent history on your credit report, most people don't understand that it's really, really important for you to get these pieces on your credit report. Most of us, that we look at our credit report and they go, okay, I got bad credit. And it will be, okay, I got this collection, that collection. There'll be some small collections, and they'll say I got bad credit. And I'll look at their credit report, and I always tell people, it's not that you got bad credit. You have no credit on your credit report. You have to get some good reporting trade lines on your credit report if you want to get in this game, right? And the whole purpose of getting credit is so that we can get these assets that is going to get us to the next level. The assets like a vehicle without paying these exorbitant fees. Like a lot of us, we have to go to buy here, pay here's, and they'll charge us, once everything is said and done, we're looking at 30% interest on this vehicle. That's, $5,000-$6,000. By the time we finish paying that vehicle off, right? It's a $6,000 vehicle, but by the time we're done, we paid $18,000. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, if you're listening to this, you've been there, right? You paid double, then almost triple what the car is worth, right? Because of all the fees. We go to Rent-A-Center, get our furniture. Once you look at it and you go, hey, I paid triple for what this couch is worth. And you look at the fees and you look at the interest, we are prey amongst sharks, right? Whatever sharks eat, we are that. And that's what they do to us. Time in, time out. They look at us and they say, how can we take advantage of these people? And if you're sick and tired of being taken advantage of, if you're sick and tired of not knowing how you're going to get into a vehicle because your car keeps breaking down, right? If you're sick and tired of listening to these people tell you don't purchase a home, right? Because it's the worst asset you could purchase. But what? You're supposed to put your money in stocks, right? Or you're supposed to go out and get a 16-unit apartment built. None of this advice is for us. If you're sick and tired of that, stay tuned to this channel. Comb through my channel. I'm going to start talking a little bit more about personal finance as I go along. And I just want everyone to look at the situation and get to the next level with some sense, right? Because there's a lot of nonsense that's being given to the middle class right now. We are being squeezed, and we don't have anyone to turn to. We can't turn to CNBC because they're going to give us some stocks, right, that we don't really get a chance to invest in, right? So long story short, I'm not going to make this video long. I want you guys, I'm going to include a link to my book, Credit Anatomy. I wrote this book, like I was saying, to help people learn about the FICO algorithm, how to get a good credit score, because that's all it is. It's a game, right? And I show you exactly how to do it, right? If you don't download my book and you just want somebody to talk to about your credit situation, reach out to me. Kenny at CreditLiving.com. I'm here for you. I'm trying to help you guys get to the next level, but you got to use me. I'm asking you guys to use me. A lot of times you guys not call me, but you guys send me emails on a situation. I give you advice and you guys want to tiptoe around it, and that's another thing. This video may turn out a little bit longer than I thought, all right, because I'm going to reach out to you guys, and I want to tell you something right now. Everything that you're trying to do right now is going to cost a little bit of money, right? There's nothing in this life that's free. I get so many people on a daily basis that'll reach out to me, and I'll tell them, hey, look, you need to go get this card. Well, how much is that going to cost me? Hey, you need to go do this. Well, how much is that going to cost me? Hey, you need to do that. How much is that going to? Oh, man, I can't do that. I can't. Listen, we have to stop. If you really want to get to the next level, right? Trust me, after I filed my bankruptcy, I did not, right, want to throw a whole bunch of money starting all over again, right? But when you are at ground zero, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. It's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. These are the investments that you have to make if you're the middle class, right? The middle class have to start making investments different from the wealthy. All the traditional investments that you've read about, that you hear, or that you see wealthy people talking about, those are not the investments that you need to be making right now. You have to build you up first before you can start looking at alternative investments, right? The number one investment you can make is in yourself. Going back to my teacher, what was he talking about? When I was younger, my father took my family on a vacation, right? And I'm bringing the story full circle. My father took my family on a vacation, and what he took us to see Hearst Castle. And as I remember going up in these mountains, and they seemed like they were huge mountains, and going to see this huge castle. And still to this day, I'm 46. This is probably 30 years. It's probably longer than that, right? It's 30 plus years ago that my father made that investment in his family, that vacation trip, right? And the return on energy, right? The return on that vacation trip was far greater than any investment he could have put in the stock market, right? So sometimes you have to make these little investments while you're in the middle class that a lot of people don't understand. Going on vacation with your family. Hell, some of us need to just sit down at the dinner table with our family because we don't even do that anymore. But this channel is not about how to raise a family. Heck, I don't have any kids, so I can't teach anybody how to raise a family. But the reality of it is, what I see, we need to stop looking at all these alternative investments and start looking at how can we invest in ourselves, right? How can we get into a situation where we can start building ourselves up, right? And what that means is starting with the foundation, getting our credit right. There is nothing that's going to change your personal financial situation more than a 700 FICO score. Period, point blank. The opportunities that open up to you just with the 700 FICO score is vast. And what I mean by that, when your car breaks down and you don't have the capital, if you have a good credit score, let me just tell you, even if you have a payment on that vehicle, what you can do is turn that vehicle in, broken down and everything, turn it in, use that vehicle as a down payment for your next vehicle without any money out of your pocket to get you to the next situation. If you have bad credit, let me tell you what happens at that point. That car just turns to junk because you don't have any other moves after that. Or you work your tail off trying to get that car fixed. And you start doing all these different maneuvers just to get your car fixed. So I'm just making this video to reach out to you guys, to let you guys know I'm here for you. If you're looking for somebody to help you get to your next stage, I don't care what it's about, if it revolves personal finance, just reach out to me. If you guys are in business and you're wondering, how do I get my business funded? Reach out to me. My network in business, my network around finance, raising money for business is probably a little bit stronger than yours. If you're asking, I don't know how to get started, so tap into my network. I'm here for you guys to use whatever it is. I'm not saying I can raise capital for Facebook, but if you're trying to get your business started, there's a good chance that I can have people reach out to you, because I get people that reach out to me for funding every single day, right? Every single day. I have a UCC filing with my factoring company. Those of you in trucking know what I'm talking about. So if you have a UCC filing, once you file that, funding companies is going to call you on a daily basis, right? Because once you get a factoring company for your trucking business, they see it. All the funding companies see it, and what they think it is, they think it's a loan. And so now they know, okay, we can prey upon this person. We can prey on this person. But if you're in a situation where that funding is needed, then okay, it's kind of like a loan payday for businesses, right? Because it's a short interest rate for a very short period of time, not a short interest rate, a high interest rate for a short period of time. But sometimes those things are needed when you're trying to get your business off the ground. If you know you can return that capital, then great, right? But long story short, what I'm trying to tell you guys is I'm here for you. I'm here to help you any kind of way I can, right? And I hope that someday down the road, I have you are part of my network, and I can use you as a resource to help others get to the next level also. All right, you guys have a blessed day. Like I said, I'm not going to make this a long video. I just wanted to reach out to you guys and let you guys know, stop listening to this nonsense. All right, you guys take care. Everyone, God bless. Talk to you later. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.